Welcome to Our Voices. I'm Ayan Bior. Based on the numbers, there's a chance you know someone who uses skin lightening products. What motivates millions to take risks to change their complexion? These risks include mercury poisoning, kidney failure, and liver damage. Are governments doing enough to protect citizens from harmful cosmetic products?
We'll also take a closer look at colorism. Is the issue just skin deep, or does it go to the very heart of race, identity, and discrimination? I'm Haiti Adams Fitzpatrick. Here with me is Hadiza Kiari, and with us again this week is Linord Moudou, VOA's health correspondent. Linord hosts Health Chat radio show and is a TV correspondent for VOA's Africa 54. And she, of course, is sitting in for Oriane Itangi-Shaka today. Welcome back, Linord.
Thank you, Haiti. It's so good to be with you ladies once again.
Well, it's good to have you, Linord.
Thank you.
Skin lightening is a $10 billion global industry that is growing each year. But as demand grows for creams, lotions, and injections, so has public disapproval over their use. Critics say they cause cancer and promote racist stereotypes. As this report explains, banning these products seems to be doing little to stifle their use. Agne Amiwana has been lightening her skin for 7 years to make herself more attractive to her husband, who prefers light-skinned women.
If I don't have these products, I'm afraid I'll become too dark like I used to be. I still have a few products left, but I hate the thought of becoming darker.
Amiwana's stock of creams is running out now that the Rwandan government is enforcing a ban on skin bleaching products. But despite the country's health ministry warning they could cause skin cancer and a call from President Paul Kagame to quickly rein in rampant use of the creams and lotions, many residents are defying the ban, saying they will find alternative ways to purchase them. In some cases, that means buying them in the black market.
I'm very sad that these products have been banned. We'll just use what's locally available, but people who made that decision need to know that these products make a woman feel beautiful.
Rwanda isn't the only country that has banned skin bleaching products. In 2016, Ghana's Food and Drugs Authority declared skin bleaching a public safety issue and got rid of products containing hydroquinone, a toxic skin lightening agent. In January, South Sudan became the latest country to ban these products, joining Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, Ghana, Rwanda, and South Africa. But the demand is high. Skin lightening is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Nigerians are among the most frequent users of skin bleaching products, with some reports saying up to 77% of men and women are using them. Nigerian actress Goodness Bent says she uses skin bleaching creams to give her an advantage in her career.
This is Nigeria, and a fair skin is business. In movie industry, most times directors want you to glow. For me to be better, for me to be fairer, for me to be more beautiful. And I feel a fairer skin attracts more favors.
People across the continent say skin bleaching is a symptom of widespread discrimination against people on the basis of their skin tone. Ghanaian filmmaker Comfort Arthur says this issue, referred to as colorism, has unfairly targeted darker-skinned people across the continent.
It's taken me a while to accept that, dark is beautiful. I mean, I grew up wishing I was lighter. I don't blame people that bleach sometimes because it's what we see around us. You get images of light-skinned girls. If you watch music videos, it's always light-skinned girls. So these are images that are always being bombarded to us, that this is the standard of beauty that us black girls are seeing.
But attitudes are changing, particularly in the film and modeling industries, with people like Lupita Nyong'o disrupting widely accepted Eurocentric ideas of beauty. South Sudanese activist Nyamal Tutdil says it's about time.
Black is not just one thing. Black is different shades. We could be as light as an albino person and as dark as I am. And that's a beautiful thing.
Instead of changing themselves to fit a narrative that does not deem them beautiful or worthy because of the complexion of their skin, men and women across the continent are choosing to change the system. The most striking piece of information in this package is how prevalent the issue is. 77% of Nigerians use some form of skin bleaching products, and the government in Rwanda is trying to ban these products, and people are saying we're going to find a way to use it anyway. Why is there a demand for these products, and is the issue getting worse?
You know, I think that there are so many different reasons, right? It's historical, it's cultural, it's emotional, and it is medical. When you look at the way this practice has been ongoing over the years, you will see that, and you can talk more about it when we go back to colonialism and history, where light-skinned people seem to have a privilege in certain cultures, right? So I think that over the years, people started to think that the lighter I am, the more privileged I am, and the more accepted I can be in my culture or my society.
Yeah. And that's right. You know, skin lightening has been linked to the history of slavery as well as colonization. They say it's a response to 100 years of colonial indoctrination that has been passed down. Let's also look at Barbie dolls. I grew up with Barbie dolls, and Barbie dolls are portrayed as, you know, beautiful, blonde hair, you know, very
they're
slim.
all white.
And they're all white.
We all had white Barbies.
I know we did, didn't we?
Right. Those are things that Africans aspire to be. But, you know, I'm just glad that the likes of Fatuma Abdullah, she's from South Africa, she came up with Akiki dolls, and also Taufik, he's from Nigeria, he came up with Queens of Africa. So these are people that are inspiring black people like us because they come in different shades. So
Yeah. Well, I want to go back to the issue of colonialism that both of you talked about, because I think that colonialism itself perpetuates a lot of the issues that we see today. Take Sudan, for example. The British came in, they left in the 50s, but before they left, they developed the North. And so if you go to Sudan right now, you'll see that Khartoum has the good hospitals, they have the schools, and southern Sudan had nothing. They did nothing to develop it. So that really created a racial divide between us, where we saw the Arabs, where the Arabs thought that they were better because they had all these developments, and we were left literally in the dark. And I think that there is a form of light-skin privilege.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, you talk about this a lot, Linord, about how your station in life is elevated the lighter your skin.
Yes, it's true. When we talk about light skin privilege, I mean, we've seen it over the years, over and over and again in the media. I remember growing up in Ivory Coast, when I was watching music videos, I will see black women. Many of them, if not 95% of them, were light-skinned with straight, long hair. Little did I know that black women in America came in different shades. Yeah. As soon as I moved here, I was like, oh my goodness, is this true? Right. So you see the selection in the media, and it's not just in music videos. When you talk about light-skin privilege, I think it's so entrenched in so many parts of society. Listen,
I mean, even in the news business, when I was trying to become a journalist, I didn't see a ton of dark-skinned women.
Yes. Representation. Right. Is so important. It's so interesting that you're talking about light-skinned privilege. My mother is incredibly light-skinned. I mean, I always joke that she's whiter than some white people in terms of her skin color. And I remember when we were kids, and my mother got an office job in Namibia, in Windhoek, Namibia, and this was a serious, administrative job she got, and she felt so proud of it. Her boss called her in one day and said, "I need you to come in on the weekend, and I need you to clean this office." So it really wasn't. Her skin color didn't help her get ahead. In fact, her skin color didn't have anything to do with it because she was mixed race. She was mulatto, and we lived in a society where people were segregated and compartmentalized based on race.
And called the colored problem.
We were known as the colored problem because in our society, our station was, we were the gardeners, we were the cleaners, the domestic workers, right? But we were the in-betweeners, and that was the story of my life, We were not white, we were not black, yet we were part white and part black and part Southeast Asian, part native Khoisan, we were part Bantu, we were part all these things, part European, and nobody knew what exactly to do with
That's complicated, huh?
But yeah, and also people we bought into that. That's the tragedy, is that we bought into that, and we initiated colorism amongst ourselves. We took colorism and we ran with it.
So what roles do our families have, our mothers have, in protecting us from these issues in our societies?
And this is why it is so important for parents, families, to, reinforce, how beautiful your skin is. I mean, my mother definitely did that. She reminded me, like, your skin is beautiful, you don't have to change it. And, that has impacted how I feel about my skin.
I also believe that these conversations do need to start in the home. And that was my mother always reinforced a very positive images about how I view myself. I was dark, as you can see from this picture. I lived under the African sun in the African desert. But, my mother would always rub my arm and she would always tell me, you are so lucky you have color. And to me, I didn't just learn to appreciate my own color, but I learned to appreciate the beauty in different shades. I think we also need to embrace our diversity.
And I think when we talk about shades of being dark or light skin, it's so relative, it's so contextual and cultural. I remember when I was growing up in my country, my family was considered light skin. We're all about the same skin shade. And when I moved to the United States, somebody gave me a compliment saying, "Oh my goodness, you're such a beautiful dark skinned woman." And I was like, is he talking about me? I went home and I called my sister, guess what? We are all dark skinned now.
that is so funny because I'm considered light skinned in my family.
Oh my
so
goodness.
I'm light skinned and you're dark skinned.
Yeah, there you have it.
No one has ever told me in my country that I am light skinned. Until I came here, I heard for the first time, you're light skinned.
Well, in Nigeria, you are light skinned.
Okay, now you see, that's just weird.
Okay, well,
There
clearly we have a lot more to say about the consequences of skin bleaching and colorism in our communities. And apparently you do too. Take a look at what people across the continent have to say about the issue. We'll be right back.
I'm also against changing my color. Like one thing I know, I wouldn't date a girl who's changed their color. No, I like the natural beauty. And if I discover a girl has changed it, it's like a total, no. Yeah, it's a turn off. No matter how beautiful they are, but the moment I realize they've done something to interfere with their color, I really am not, I don't advocate for it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter which skin color you were born with. I can be in a music video that the artist wants me to be. If the artist prefers the light-skinned lady, he can go for her, but I don't really mind. This is my skin color. I like it the way it is.
Really, I marry a fair lady. I get married to a fair lady, Rita Nipal Kier Daniel. So I like fair girls, but I like to maintain my color as a black guy.
Some people turn up having darker knuckles because they have tried to change to have fairer skin. And it's difficult to actually erase those knuckles. So it's very expensive. I wouldn't want to change my skin into being fair.
Why not own it? Why not own that you're a beautiful black woman?
Like Voice of America on Facebook. Follow VOA on Twitter. Join VOA on our YouTube channel. Like, follow, join VOA.
Welcome back to Our Voices. As women and men continue to seek fair skin through bleaching products, medical experts are sounding the alarm. Skin bleaching is dangerous.
Hydroquinone, steroids, lead, and mercury are some of the substances often found in skin lightening products. But as women and men bleach their skin to appear lighter in complexion, doctors say they should be aware of the side effects.
Skin is the largest organ of the body. And under your skin, and where you have a lot of blood vessels. So when you apply these creams all over the body, because a majority of them do it from the face, the hands, they are absorbed in the bloodstream. And since some of these creams they use for bleaching contain metals, heavy metals like mercury, lead, they are absorbed in the bloodstream. And they affect your brain, they affect your kidney, and they also affect your liver.
Professor Daly says when people bleach their skin, they inhibit the production of melanin, a dark brown to black pigment which can protect skin from UV radiation. People who bleach their skin become susceptible to developing skin cancer. Medical experts say, among other things, the long-term use of whitening cream with topical steroids can lead to hypertension and elevated blood sugar. Creams that contain hydroquinone may be safe in specific doses, but only for a limited amount of time. However, when used for extended periods or in high concentration, they can have side effects such as ochronosis, a rare skin condition marked by blue or black discoloration due to a buildup of acid.
The infectious complications can be easily treated, but the complications such as diabetes, hypertension, renal failure, these complications are so severe that patients will need lifelong follow-ups.
Medical professionals say as people who bleach their skin often find it difficult to stop, they should consult with their doctors for proper usage and safer ways to alter their skin complexion.
Doctors warn people who bleach their skin of other side effects, such as acne, stretch marks, and possible damage to the nervous system, which can be caused by mercury. And there are so many other side effects that we could not put everything in the story.
The stretch marks alone, that's
But you see, one of the warning is the fact that as women and men bleach their skin for the longest time, their skin becomes very thin, right? And this can be dangerous during surgery.
Right. So because it's eliminating the melanin,
not
which
only
is
the
a
melanin,
protective
but also
layer.
the skin. It thins the layer of the skin. So during surgery, you know, when they cut the skin and they have to sew it back or whatever they do after the surgery,
it's very hard.
It's very hard to do that.
Is there a difference between skin lightening and skin brightening?
Technically there is, but now you will see that a lot of time they will interchange brightening, whitening, bleaching, lightening. When you think about skin brightening, I think many of us, if not all of us on this table, have done it. Because what is it about? It's about removing the dead skin cells. And you do that through exfoliating. Sometimes you go to your beautician and do skin peeling, microdermabrasion, mask. For example, Ayen, your skin is very bright. All of us have bright skin here.
I moisturize you guys.
Moisturizer. So you are not bleached, but you still have this glow that is coming out of your skin. And that is considered skin brightening because your skin is bright. There is no layer of dead skin cells, you see. So, but I think that over time, because of the controversy around skin bleaching, people tend to change and say skin brightening to kind of.
And I wonder if the companies are also doing that so that they could, that's like a loophole.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, they are all just cashing in on women's insecurities about their skin color. And they're making money off it because that is how they sell these products.
But you know, it's interesting that we focus a lot on just skin lightening. We forget about this, something called skin tanning as well, where people are trying to darken their skin or bronze or brown it, you know, and it's interesting to me because, you know, on one side you have people trying to lighten their skin, on the other part you have some other people trying to, you know, darken their skin, and both of them risk cancer.
That's exactly something my mother always tried to do. She'd given up on tanning, but if you open her closet, all her skin self-tanning lotions would fall out because all she wanted was darker skin so that she would fit in with the rest of her friends. But no,
it also speaks to the fact that it's all about perspective, right? What may seem nice, beautiful to you may not be beautiful to her, or vice versa. So that's why sometimes it's better not to be so judgmental and, you know.
Right. Linord, I also want to know, really, skin bleaching, can that be addictive? Can it become an addiction? And also, can it be reversed?
So, when you talk about addiction, I think it has to go back to the reason why they even started, right? If it has to do with image and self-acceptance, once you start seeing the difference in your skin, it's very hard to go back to your natural skin. So that emotional, psychological aspect of it is causing some people to find it difficult to stop the practice. So I won't say that, I have not seen any experts say that it's addictive as much as opioid, for example. However, it is all about the emotional aspect
speaking about
of it.
addiction, I'll tell you guys a story about my nanny. Well, having a nanny obviously is not, let's just make it clear, it's not being bougie. In Africa, it's very normal.
It's totally bougie.
No, it's not.
I actually had a nanny.
Right. In Africa, it's normal.
So what it is about your nanny?
Well, okay, so with my nanny, growing up with my nanny, she was someone who bleached her skin, and that was my first encounter with someone, you know, bleaching. So what happened was, you know, as a little girl, you want to experiment, you see her doing it, I went in to try it, and she caught me, and you know, she tried to tell me, like, look, you don't want to do this because, look, I have struggled with this. It's been an addiction, and I wish I could stop. And I actually did try to stop, but it has caused a lot of problems. I couldn't go out for days. So, you know, if we speak about addiction, that's just one example. And
Right, but there are legitimate reasons why people use skin bleaching products.
Absolutely, very much so. Medical reasons such as age spot. I remember because I did use a skin bleaching product, and whether it's medical or for personal reasons, right? Age spot, surgery. Some people have conditions like vitiligo, and they use it. They rather go with the lighter shade as opposed to matching the darker shade.
Right. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, allegedly Michael Jackson had this problem and other skin disorders. So I mentioned about me using it. What happened is, growing up in my family, everybody is about this shade, but I was the only one with an even skin tone. And I also, as I grew up, I started having what they call adult acne. So when I was looking at my siblings, my sisters, I was like, why is it that I look a little bit different? And also being on camera, I was self-conscious about the way I looked. So I said, okay, at one point I was using darker makeup to match my neck. And then at one point I said, no, let me use lighter makeup to match my body. And then I had to go through this. And one day I said, you know what, let me just stop this. And now that I know better, I go with skin brightening, as I explained earlier, exfoliating. And then to be on camera, I just put my powder. So there, you have my secret.
But I mean, as far as judging people, I mean, in your situation, there's no reason to judge you. But if you find people like the story from Ghana, where these pregnant women were taking pills, skin lightening pills, because they feel like the babies are going to come out, light-skinned. I mean, there's every reason to judge them. I would judge them.
Well, I think also, as far as judgment goes, I'm someone, I believe in live and let live. But I think at the end of the day, if whatever the ingredients are of your beauty products or your beauty regimen, if unhappiness is one of those ingredients, if you're unhappy with who you are and what you look like, there is not any type of doctor or medication in the world that can help you. And sometimes I think also it's about embracing ourselves. And like you said, it is all relative. Yes. It is all about context.
And there's a stigma too. Sometimes when you have like the vitiligo that you mentioned, there's a stigma attached to it. So you can't blame people trying to even out their color just because they don't want that stigma attached to them.
But there's also a stigma with people who use the product. That's what sometimes messaging is so important. If you're trying to raise awareness, right? You don't condemn people and saying, what you're doing is bad. Yes, you educate them, but there is a stigma around it. Even when I was doing it,
people who don't use skin bleaching products anymore should be the people who are telling others not to use it.
Yes.
We, the people who don't bleach, can't tell people who bleach not to bleach. It doesn't work.
So there, I was doing it for my neck and everything, and I'm saying don't do it because I found that it was not worth it. And there are other ways to make your skin beautiful, such as using vitamin C, vitamin E, exfoliating, and just educating yourself. Of course, it is about each person's sense of beauty and acceptance, but really, when you think about the medical impact on your health, it's not worth it.
And above all, black is beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. I'm proud of my dark skin.
And I'm proud of my uneven skin tone.
And I love whatever this is.
What's your take on colorism and skin bleaching? Should bleaching be regulated by the government, or is it up to the individuals? Let us know on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is @VOA Our Voices. And if you prefer to text, find us on WhatsApp. Our number is on your screen. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to some women who are disrupting beauty standards. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Our Voices. It's time for a Women to Watch segment.
Meet Ola Brown. She's a medical doctor and the founder of Flying Doctors Nigeria, a leading air ambulance service in West Africa. Dr. Brown is a healthcare advocate who says skin bleaching is a public health issue, but she says banning these products will not completely solve the problem of unsafe skin bleaching unless other measures are also put in place. She wants more people and the media to talk about skin color and beauty, particularly the fashion media.
Well, this next woman to watch is talking about skin color in the fashion industry. Why trend to blend in when you can choose how to stand out? That was a question this woman to watch asked in her commercial for the CoverGirl makeup company. Amy Deanna is the cosmetic brand's first ever model with vitiligo, a skin disease that causes the loss of melanin. When she was in high school, Deanna says she applied makeup to cover up her vitiligo, but now she uses it to enhance what she calls her marks of beauty. Deanna's presence on the screen has prompted people with the same condition to celebrate their uniqueness and beauty on social media. And you know, she really reminds me of another pioneer, Alec Weck, and I'm completely biased because I'm from South Sudan, but she reminds me of, you know, someone who's really disrupting the standards in the beauty industry and saying, I am beautiful just as I am.
We all remember Alec Weck. That was a transformational moment, I think, across the continent, because there were black models before, but she just felt like they took her straight from Africa and did nothing to her and put her
And she had very African features.
Right, she was far more representative of the continent, I feel. Like, you know, she felt like ours.
Absolutely. I remember that iconic moment on the runway where she had the long blonde wig and she ripped it off.
She really brought different standards of beauty after that in the beauty industry. And it was fascinating to watch.
Yeah. Well, before we close today's show, here are words from a woman that we are literally watching on the big screen, Lupita Nyong'o. She used her voice to say, I hope that my presence on your screens and in the magazines may lead you, young girl, on a similar journey, that you will feel the validation of your external beauty, but also get to the deeper business of being beautiful inside. There is no shade to that beauty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is so true. No shade to that beauty.
What inspiring words.
And on that very, very powerful note, we say thank you for watching Our Voices. Linord Moudou, thank you so much for coming and sitting in again this week.
It was my pleasure.
You feel like part of the family.
Thank you.
Well, of course, if you've missed any of our previous episodes, go to our website, voanews.com. From all of us here at The Voice of America, we will see you next time. Goodbye.